All right. Well, hello, Pablo and Simone. Pablo Galvez and Simone Rousseau. Thank you for joining me here from lovely Calgary, Canada. I appreciate you guys being on this call with me today. Uh, the purpose of the time that we spend together has been, it's Mondays with Michelle, has been to really expose people to different personalities and stories, and who is we've partnered with here in this amazing company called EXP Realty. And I love your story, and I love what you're doing and how you've grown. We've known each other for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How many years would you say, Simone? How many years, Simone?
Probably like, I don't know, 2013 maybe?
Probably. Okay, so about
2012.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we've met through our love of coaching organization, the Mike Ferry organization. Mm-hmm. And now you guys have grown and moved in another direction, and you're doing some of your own. Isn't that right? Like, is it Pablo headed up your agent upgrade? Is that right?
Kind of. It's training, not coaching. So
okay.
I really tried to stay away from the like one-on-one coaching. So I just do real estate training and mentorship and help agents with their production.
It's because you have been some significant producers on your own accord over the years as a husband-wife team, right?
Yeah. Simone's been the producer. I've just been the assistant.
All right. So Simone, how many deals were you doing, at your highest peak?
Yeah, we did we did 126 deals. I know my numbers, but we did at 126. There was Pablo and I. And at that time, I believe we had 2 full-time assistants.
And you were working at a RE/MAX office, correct?
We were working at a RE/MAX office. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And 126 transactions.
Right.
That's insane volume. And your price point is quite high.
Yeah. At that time, the average price was probably around 450, 475 in our market. And ours was closer to around that 650 mark.
That is like just unparalleled volume and income. I would have like you're doing quite well. And so you've taken that experience and turned it into some training opportunities for your agents that have joined you here and partnered with you at EXP. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Pablo, maybe you can comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we spent 8 years being coached and learned so much, and then all the production that we did. And through that time, we were kind of in a bubble, we were just heads down, cranking out deals, not really supporting anyone. We saw the opportunity with EXP, decided to join and kind of go in both feet into the water, as they say. And now we're able to give back, and we're rewarded for giving back. So it's kind of this win-win situation with agents that we sponsor. We love it.
I tell you, we've known each other for a long time, and we had a great opportunity through this company, EXP, a year ago, which was but we didn't know it at the time. It was one of our last experiences about a year and a half ago in January, to be in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, sitting on your beautiful lanai. I love it. Overlooking the ocean it turned into an afternoon. I think lunch turned into dinner, and you did go all in when you moved brokerages. You went, really into the give back and the contribution to other agents. I know, Pablo, a year ago, this was a very consuming project at that time of really creating the content and the value add for agents. This has been I know you said you had your blinders on when you were listing and selling real estate, and you put your blinders on in the give back to agents. And now you're creating a whole new life for yourselves. And so that you see the value of the give back for agents, that you're being rewarded for that. And I want I don't care who's the better conversationalist on this topic, Simone or Pablo, but how this is changing your life, the value that you're giving back to agents, and how you've reorganized your life, and how it's changed, in just a short amount of time being here at this company. So I don't know who wants
Simone, you should answer that one.
Yeah, I can jump in. And Pablo, just turn up your mic a bit. Your volume's a bit low. So I can take that one. So I have to say honestly, when we first were exposed to EXP as an option, it didn't really actually occur to me this whole concept of collaboration and giving back. And for me, I'm just a numbers person, dollars and cents. Either it works for the net or it doesn't. And I looked at it as a real business with a business numbers mind. And the real great gift of being with EXP, after a couple months, I would say our first couple months, it started to hit me that this was not just a regular business model for realtors. It had way more, not only to give to us, but that we could, if we adjusted our mindset a bit, we could then contribute to others. And it was at that point where we really decided, we had a couple conversations with some of our senior partners early on in joining EXP, and we decided, they kept saying, are you going to go all in? Are you going to go all in? And at that point, we decided we needed to come up with a strategy of how we were going to exit real estate sales and how we were going to build our EXP organization and make sure that other agents had the same opportunity that we had. So that's what we did. Within the first 3 months, we decided to go all in.
And you really did. I mean, it's I know this has been a year that's been challenging for a lot of people, but you really did do that. I mean, your organization has grown from, what was it at your previous company? How many people in your group?
Well, there was just Pablo and I for sales people, and then we had our 2 admins. So right now we actually, when we exited real estate sales, which we did in September of 2020, we didn't need our longtime assistant of 8 years. She's an absolute rock star. Her name is Priscilla. We didn't need her anymore because we weren't doing transactions. So Pablo and I went from a team of 3, Pablo and I and Priscilla, down to 2 of us. And our organization right now in EXP, our rev share organization, is 216 agents. So it's just a complete blast where our overhead went down and our responsibilities, I would say, have gone down. The demand on our time has gone down. The love and the joy in our lives has just gone off the charts and off the roof. And we're just blessed to be able to be with all those agents.
You two are like, I admire you so much because you've really taken this model of EXP and catered it to your lifestyle. You saw, which was difficult for me to grasp as well. It took me a couple months to really believe that the collaboration was this profound and this deep. And you guys embraced it and ran with it from the start. And I'm telling you, I was a bit of a holdout because we've always had our trade secrets that we hold close to our chest, right? Like in real estate, no one should really know what I'm doing for the win. No one should know who my coach is or what I'm really learning or, what conference I recently went to. And you said you flipped it completely on its head and said, no, we're going to do a greater value add to the agents that we service because we know the pain of doing high volume.
Mm.
And you and Pablo have taken this to pour into other people to create the lives of your dreams. And Simone, I know this might be hard for you, but you shared with me a profound moment and what this lifestyle now in your total organization has created for you and how it gave time for your family.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share. I mean, I just think it's, you go through life. I'm 51 right now, and you go through life. Well, we did for 11 years of being in real estate, and we were just grinding. We were on that real estate treadmill, that deal treadmill. Pablo was, he supported not only all the transactions we did, but he supported our staff. We had 2 small children during that time that were growing into young, middle school age and now teenagers. And we were just grinding. And every year we started at 0 again, and we just kept going. And it was because of our conversation with our mentors at EXP, our senior partners, where we saw the opportunity that we could potentially exit from real estate. So back in October of, I think it was October of 2019, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, with lung cancer. And we were about 1 year into EXP at that time. And then through the course of 2020, of course, we met in Mexico. Hey, Michelle, with David and Pablo and I. We had a great time in early Feb of 2020. And it was an amazing time. And then COVID hit. Yep. So that flipped everybody's, lives upside down. And then, we cruised through the summer doing deals. And then Pablo and I talked about our business, and because our revenue share, we had built our revenue share up over that year, we decided that it was possibly time that Pablo should exit real estate sales. And he had a conversation with a real estate friend of his. And one day he came home, it was the end of August, and Pablo came home and just said, you know what? I don't think I should exit sales. I think we should both exit sales. And I thought, what? And then my next reaction was, hell yeah. I don't know what that's going to look like or what that means, but whatever you just said, I love it. And so I think it was around the 28th of August of 2020. And then on September 2nd, I did my last ever listing presentation. We were able to transfer our business off to an amazing team. They're actually better than we are at real estate. They've taken on our assistant of 8 years, and they're rocking it. So, our clients are being just well taken care of. We're still here if anybody needs anything, but we're not active, feet on the ground. And then on September 3rd, my father, his cancer progressed, and then we knew he was going to be terminal. So from September 3rd until he passed on November 2nd, I was able to spend absolutely any and all time possible with him and my family as he was in hospice. I did the night shifts along with my brother, and I just had the joy of time and being with him. There is no doubt I wouldn't have had that experience if I still had to, put on lock boxes, talk to sellers, answer buyers, do CMAs. That just would never have been a possibility. So the timing is just the universe, you put it out there and the universe gave it to us. So we took it.
It's such a beautiful thing that, you're saying exiting real estate. The truth is you didn't exit real estate completely. You're still in real estate, but you're in the capacity of mentoring and helping other people grow. You're not doing the listing and the selling. So you're still, while you're giving to people, then the universe is giving back to give you time with your father.
Yeah, maybe actually I just heard Pablo on the phone. Maybe you can you're right, Michelle. Thanks. We haven't exited anything other than the feet on the ground, but Pablo's been just a tremendous mentor for so many agents. Pablo, you want to share some of your experiences?
Oh, I have all kinds of experiences, and it's so much fun. And I really enjoy it. It's funny when you do something, you do anything for 8, 9, 10 years, and you get so routine and so kind of good at it that, it's like that mastery, 10,000 hours of mastery or whatever. And you get kind of good at it and you get a little complacent maybe, and you don't realize. And then there's all these newer agents or less experienced agents, and they just don't have all that experience of time and the deals that you've done and everything else that everything seems obvious to me, but it's not obvious to them. So I really enjoy going through that journey with people and helping them understand things. And one agent that I'm mentoring right now, he was with Remax for a year. His first year, did 0 deals. He was on a team. Reluctantly decided to join EXP. It was a really big decision for him, and he's closed 8 deals this year, and he's on his 10th, I think now. He's just blowing up, and he's never been happier. He's dressed in a nice suit every day. He's running around, and he's having a blast. So, it's just one of the many, many stories that I get to participate in. And, Simone was talking about kind of the time freedom and what a blessing that's been for her. And I think for everybody, there's always a different motivation. There's so many different reasons why EXP or, being with this group or this collaboration is important. And it might be that you want the training or the mentorship or collaboration. Maybe it's this. And for me, it was the ability to give back. I mean, this is so fun for me to be able to pass this torch, to share this knowledge, and to watch people light up when it actually works for them. And that's my gift to myself. And so I think everybody's got their thing that it resonates with them, you know?
I'll tell you what, that right there was one of the biggest surprises to me. I don't know if it was a surprise to you to uncover that you enjoy the give back. I would have never known it just being in the grind of the listing and the selling.
Mm-hmm.
I would have
I've heard
never
so many
known.
things, you know, like we all read books, right? And I've heard so many times like this whole thing of philanthropy and giving back, and it's just never really been my bag. You know, my bag was always, I'm just going to go and sell more. I'm going to, you know, I'm crushing it, hustle, all of that. And nothing wrong with that, because that sometimes you have to go through all those stages before you can get to the next one. And all of a sudden I discovered that, hey, I can actually give back. And this is, people are really receptive. People like this. And I get a good feeling out of it. They get productivity. The more productive our team is, the more we earn. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like full circle, and it works so well for everybody. It's a win-win-win. Mm-hmm. And when the light bulb went off, when I felt that feeling of people appreciate this, they enjoy it. I'm helping them sell more. When they sell more, they make more. When they sell more, I make more. And it comes full circle. I'm like, this is a beautiful thing. Who thought? Right?
You know, I can add to that if you don't mind. The other thing I feel is the biggest give is that whole concept of back to the time, right? So, you know, a lot of agents feel like they need to be working all the time. And I know for me to teach agents and share my schedule with agents that I operated on when we were doing, I took 102 listings one year, and I worked Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it was the most efficient schedule that we had. And I also had, I always joke that I used to sit on my living room couch. Our kids would roll in the house from the bus at 3:30, and they would question whether mom and dad worked or not, because we had our systems so fine-tuned that it appeared to them that we weren't working.
Really?
So it's really cool that we can share that with people now and give them that time freedom through some of the training and mentoring that we do. So
I did not know that.
There's probably a lot of people watching this going, no way, you guys worked evenings and weekends. Sure you did. And you know, there's a lot of truth to that. I did a lot of the evenings and weekends because I was negotiating and writing contracts, but for the most part, yeah, we were off evenings and weekends.
That's amazing. I did not know that. I'm hearing it, and we've spent many hours together. I did not know that. And so but what you've also done moving forward, like, because we stay in communication, is that you've taken this to another level. Now, I'm so glad to hear Priscilla's back to work. That, like, I love that. But when you said reducing expenses, just in the business side, you also started treating your personal expenses as well, right? And so that you can create this, you don't need to work. I mean, you're working because you're contributing and giving a value to other agents, but that can be done remote.
Yeah.
Like, everything you're doing can be done remote.
You know, this is one of my favorite topics ever. You know, because it's the ticket to financial freedom. I'm listening to a book right now on Audible when I'm out for my walks. It's called Digital Minimalism. And one of the stories that the author goes through is all about how, you know, if you have 1 acre of land, you make X amount of money if you're a farmer. Well, you might as well have 100 acres of land, because then you can make that much more. But that economic principle is actually doesn't actually add up, because in order to have 100 acres, you need so much more staff and equipment, and there's a lot more burn, but the biggest burn is on your time. And you as a human, you'll actually exponentially have less time for yourself by having those 100 acres than you would if you had that 1 acre. So what our coach did, our mentor at EXP, he basically said to us, okay, listen, I want you to think on this concept of income replacement. So you're going to be replacing your commissioned income with your revenue share. So that's a pretty easy concept, right? So you have to do less deals as your revenue share increases. But if you want to accelerate that magic, as you let go of some of your burn rate, then you actually don't need to make as much overall across the board in both realms. So then you're able to just get out of the rat race earlier. So fortunately for us, and COVID taught us a lot of lessons, I think, in a lot of different aspects. But for us, it was, let's really figure out what's most important for us as far as where we spend our money. Let's make sure we're making purposeful decisions on where we're spending our money. And then that way, do I want, for example, a new set of patio furniture, or do I want to be out of the rat race 6 months earlier, right? Well, of course, I want to be out of the rat race 6 months earlier. So we learned to really give up some of the things that we didn't actually care about. And now we can basically, we have all the time freedom we want. And now we're starting to be in a position where if I want the patio furniture, I can get the patio furniture. So then you get both, right?
Can I elaborate on that too,
Yeah.
Simone? Because, one of the conversations that we had at that time, because we were trying to figure out what's important to us, and we were getting a little burnt out in real estate as it was at that time. And I remember having this conversation where I was like, what would happen if we just sold everything? And, you end up with this chunk of money, whatever your net worth is, your equity, and you have it in cash in a bank account somewhere. And then you go and become like a gypsy, and you find a little RV by the beach somewhere in some third world country, and you live, maybe it costs you $100 a month to live for the rest of your life. But your standard of living would be pretty low, other than the view, right?
Right.
But your standard of living would be pretty low. And we decided very quickly, we can't live that way. Mm-hmm. So then you start to work up and you say, well, what do you need in life? What do we want in life? What do we want our lifestyle to be like? What do we want, our houses, cars, whatever. And you start to build that up to this level and you say, okay, what's our burn rate? What do we need in order to live a good life, a life that we're happy with, that we're excited about? And we came up with that number. And then it was about balancing, like Simone said, bringing down the expenses and bringing up the income so that we can maintain that number. Yeah. And then once we hit that number, we knew that's the time when we could scale back from production and go all in.
I think that takes, and I think you guys are the perfect match, a husband and wife team. Really the perfect match. Simone's business and numbers, and I'm telling you, Pablo, you are one of the best integrators I've seen. I've seen your spreadsheets, I've seen your agenda, I've seen what you lay out for people. But it takes also a massive clarity conversation about values, about wants, about needs. Like, that's a hard conversation. Living in a van down by the river, that probably that's probably an easy one. Down by the river. That's probably like a really easy one to say that's not me. But moving through, like patio furniture, right. I have to choose about patio furniture. That's super intentional. That's a clarity of vision like nothing I've ever seen. Honestly, it's so easy, and you've been there. You're making a lot of money listing and selling property. 125 deals at an average sales price of over $600,000. Do the math. That's a lot of money. To step back from that in order to move forward for the life that you want. And that is like it's a risk, and you took it, and it's paying off, working.
Yeah, Michelle, we always say, Pablo and I joke, same joke, two different ways. You have to get rid of your old couch before you get a new couch, right? Or you have to get rid of your old boyfriend in order to have the new boyfriend. So sometimes we put up with a bunch of stuff in our lives that has no worth or value to us. And we don't know, unless we release it, we don't know what could be on the other side. And for Pablo and I know for a fact it's about our own health, our mental health, our physical health, the health of our family, and just having time with people, having really quality time instead of having to run out at 6 o'clock because a buyer wants to see a house, especially in this market now where everything is just so fast and furious.
Mhm.
And it's just heartbreaking to see agents out there. It's, they're just chasing the next deal, right?
They are working so hard right now.
Mhm.
Everyone in real estate is working so hard right now. And yeah, it is, and it's hard to see, and it's also exciting. And I know Pablo will give me a thumbs up on this one, to like be part of the helping them find solutions to win and how to make their job lessen the load. I think that's one thing that all of us have in common on this conversation, is that we know the grind.
Mhm.
We know how hard it is.
Mhm.
All have a big heart,
Mhm.
or and the empathy, a big heart for agents, or empathetic to the situation. And you both inspire me, because your massive clarity, your risk taking, and your success. Is there, besides happy birthday, Pablo?
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday. Is there
I'm wiser today than I was yesterday.
Of course. And you will be
By a
even
year.
wiser tomorrow. Happy birthday. I
Yep.
did not know that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you in this conversation that you think is important for people watching to know? Like what I mean, this conversation could go on for days, but I mean, I don't know.
This time we're in Mexico.
No. I get to go there before you.
Oh.
Pablo, is there anything else that comes to your mind?
Well, I think just to impart to people, I mean, obviously we're having a conversation, and we're also talking about EXP. And I think that there's nothing like this. I mean, hopefully you can get the concept and get the idea from hearing us, that there is pure joy in these three voices that we may not have had. I know Simone and I definitely didn't have this prior to EXP. There's a joy that happens, and it's a magical thing that happens when you integrate and you become part of something bigger than just yourself. It's pretty neat.
Yes, those are actually the words that I use verbatim to create something bigger than I could have created myself. And I mean, how many real estate brokerages in 3 years grow to over 200 agents? They don't. Right. And so with these systems in place and what you've outlined for yourself and the contribution and the give back, it's a winning recipe to be a solution driven, option for a lot of people. And again, you guys are doing it perfectly. And my husband, Dave, and I, we look up to you. We want the courage that you guys have, and the structure and the clarity that you've put on this for yourself. So, so I just want to say thank you again for being on this call here today with me. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoy that cake tonight, Pablo. I hope you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We love you and David so much as well, and it's just such a joy to be aligned with you. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. If people want to contact you, what is the best way to get in touch?
I
have no idea.
No,
we're on Facebook and stuff. I don't know. We're out there. You'll find us.
And then my cell phone number, 403-991-9004. I'm always answering my phone and happy to hear from anyone if I can ever be of service.
403-991-4004.
403-991-9004.
Okay. Glad I got that. Okay, cool. I will put that up on the screen and I will post that. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys being here and for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having us. That was a blast.
Bye.
See you soon. Okay.